السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، أما بعد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بشر لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. رب زدني علما. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. I welcome you all to the class of دروس اللغة العربية لغير ناطقين بها. And today we are finishing off our remaining key lessons, inshallah ta'ala. Lesson number 29. So we have lesson 29 and 30, a few short lessons. So let's see. Al-maf'ul li-ajlihi. In this, he teaches maf'ul lahu or maf'ul li-ajlihi. This is another maf'ul which gives a fatha. It's a masdar which tells us the reason for doing an action. So what does this maf'ul li-ajlihi or maf'ul lahu does is it gives you a reason for doing an action, like why are you doing this action. So it's mostly an internal reason for doing an action. لم أخرج خوفا من المطر. I did not leave fearing of rain, or fear of rain. For fear of rain. So this is mansub. حضرت حبا للنحو. I attended the class for love of grammar. Here the master خوفا tells us the reason for not going out. Right? Why did you not leave? خوفا. And the master حبا tells us the reason for attending the class. So it's generally your heart, like why did you do this? Your intention behind this. This master mostly denotes a mental action, mental internal action like fear, love, desire, respect, etc. It is mansub. Mansub. The master in maf'ul lahu is mostly with the tanween. So it comes nakira most of the time. But sometimes it can be mudaf also. وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ خَشْيَةَ إِمْلَاقٍ. Don't kill your children for fear of poverty. So it can be mudaf also. And in the hadith, نهى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أن يسافر بالقرآن إلى أرض العدو مخافة أن يناله العدو. مخافة. The Prophet ﷺ prohibited the Muslims from taking the Quran to the land of the enemy for fear that the enemy should harm it. So makhafata is mudaf, and an yanalahu al-adu. This whole thing, this masdar, and this is the mudaf ilayhi. Because remember, masdars and masdar muawwal acts as a noun, so it can be mudaf ilayhi also. Next is teaching us about halla. So that's it. I mean, there's nothing new about it. That's maf'ulun bihi, or sorry, maf'ulun lahu or maf'ulun li-ajlihi. Then we have halla. Halla is used in a verbal sentence. Halla. Halla is used in what? Verbal sentence. It is used with a mudare, and generally it comes with mudare for urging one to do an action. Halla. It's like encouraging. And with madi to rebuke him for neglecting an action, for not doing an action. So it comes in madi and mudare. For mudare, if halla comes, it is to encourage, or with madi it is to discourage, rebuke, not discourage, but like halla tashkuhu ila al-mudir. Should you not complain about him to the headmaster? That means you should do, right? Should you not do it? That means you should do, future. And halla shakawtahu ila al-mudir. So tashkuhu, this is mudar. Shakawtahu, this is madi. Halla shakawtahu ila al-mudir. Should you not have complained about him to the master? That means you should have complained. So it gives two meanings, halla. So this is called harfu tahdid in the first case. Tahdid, you are hadda yahuddu is also to encourage, like hatha yahuddu or shajja'a yushajju tashjia. You are encouraging someone to do something and urging one to, you should have done this. Why? I mean, you should do this. And the harfu tandim, that is not, this is what naddama yunaddimu tandim, the rebuking one. So there are four of this. How many? Four. Actually five, including halla, there are five. Ala, Allah, Lauma, Lola. There's another Allah, which is just to grab attention. We'll bring it later on. Okay. Allah, inna awliya Allah. That is just to grab attention. This is something else. This is for encouragement and discouragement. So don't get confused by this Allah. And similarly, Laula also. Laula, there's another Laula. The two laulas, right? One is lawla al-hawa'u lahalakan nas. That's called harfu imtina'in li wujud. He taught us somewhere back. That lola is also there. And this lola is for shouldn't you have done this, right? So the five for encouragement and discouragement. Five. Allah, Allah, Allah is the other one is more commonly used, not this one. Hmm? Not this one. This one is not very commonly used from what I know. Allah is fine. Yeah, Allah and lauma is only for encouragement. Like Allah says, لولا إذ سمعتموه ظن المؤمنون والمؤمنات بأنفسهم خيرا وقالوا هذا إفك مبين. Why did not the believers إذ سمعتموه ظن المؤمنين? Why did not the believers, men and women, والمؤمنات? This is a story of Aisha radiallahu anha. The ifk, the qissa to ifk of Aisha radiallahu anha. So why did they not believers and the believing women think بأنفسهم خيرا? When you heard it, think good of themselves. Why did they start accusing Aisha radiallahu anha and say وقالوا هذا إفك مبين, and this is an obvious lie? Right? Why didn't you do that? I mean, this is scolding, right? Reproachment, the tandeem, rebuking. So this is the lawla, and this lawla is very common. Instead of the lawla of this one, had it not been for this, had it not, that one is not that common. This lawla is very common. Lawla, I mean, why did you do this? Or you should do this. So this is madi. So this is like a rebuke. Okay, so this is a little. If you don't remember this, you might get confused. This Allah is not that common. So even if you don't remember this, it's fine. Because the other Allah is, to grab attention, tambi, that is more common. But lawla, this is the most common. I don't know if halla comes in the Quran. Let me check if halla comes in the Quran. I mean, if I'm able to find it. Allah. Allah. No, I'm not able to find. No. No, Allah's. No. So Allah is not there. So out of all of them, I don't know if Allah is also used. I mean, Allah as reproaching. Out of all of them, if you just remember one for encouragement, discouragement, which one will be? It will be lawla. Lawla. That's the one you have to remember, because that is the one which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used this time. And and there are two types of lawlas anyways. Yeah, you have to remember two types of lawlas. One is lawla fadlullahi alaykum wa rahmatuhu lakuntu min al-khasirin. Had it not been for this, this wouldn't now, this would have happened. Like, had it not been for air, people would have died. So that's like imtina'u lil wujud. Because of something is there, this did not happen. So this did not happen. That is one lawla, and the other is this one. لولا أخرتنا إلى أجل قريب. I mean, shouldn't you have made us delayed? So that is like, why not? Why not you have delayed us? So that lawla is, so lawla comes told 75 times in the Quran, 75 times. Like lawla unzila alayhi ayatun min rabbih. Why is there not a sign for him? Lawla. That is not harfun tinad. So this is a little confusing. You have to see which one is which. Okay. I don't know if Allah is also used. Allah. No, Allah I cannot find. I don't know. You're searching for illa. When khiftum Allah. An plus la is something else. Huh? An plus la, we just want Allah, like halla. And generally, these things will come in the beginning. Huh? Beginning, you see, they come in the beginning. They don't come in between. So that's also a sign. Even Allah comes in the bit starting, but yeah, okay. Next point, رغبة في العلم لا رحبة من الامتحان. Out of love for knowledge, not of fear of examination. This la is called la al-atifa, which is conjunction. It is used in affirmative sentences or one containing amra. I mean, it doesn't do anything. خرج بلال لا حامد. It's like Hamid left, Bilal left, not Hamid. It's like a la atifa, law of conjunction. اسأل المديرة لا المدرسة. Ask the headmaster, not the teacher. كل التفاحة لا الموزة. Eat apples, not bananas. So it's like a conjunction. La al-atifa, this is called. So this is another la, right? So we learned la nahiya, la nafiya. Any other la did we learn? This is la al-atifa. I remember three. La. Yeah, that's it. I think only three till we learned three. There may be more, but we learned three, I feel, I think. Okay, lesson 30. In this lesson, we learn the following: at-tamyiz, which is a noun used to specify and definite an indeterminate idea. So something vague comes in the starting, and then it clarifies. And what does it mean by vague? It is generally used in measurements and comparisons, generally, but not all the time. So, like for example, sharibtu litran, I drank a liter of what? Liter of what? Water, whatever. Haliban, so milk. So this haliban is called tamyiz. This is maf'ulun bihi, and this is called tamyiz. You might be get confused and think that this is manut not, because they look same, right? Manzub, manzub. No, it's not. It's not. This is maf'ulun bihi. This is called tamyiz. The word litran refers to an amount, but the meaning is not complete unless word like water, milk, oil, etc. are mentioned. Ibrahimu ahsanu minni. Ibrahim is better than me in what? Khattan, and handwriting. So tamyiz is mansub always. So because it's talking about mansubat, I mean it's mansub obviously. There are two kinds of tamyiz. One is tamyiz with that. That means measurements kind of. This comes after denoting word of quantity. That means some being or something. Words of quantity, and there are four kinds of quantity. Four kinds of quantity, like number, measurement, distance, and what else? Volume. One is number. عدد يا أبتي إني رأيت 11. This comes after 11 to 19, right? Or 11 to 99. We learn tamyiz, singular mansub. I have seen 11 كوكبا, stars. I saw in a dream 11 stars. The tamyiz of numbers is mansub after 11 to 99. After 3 to 10, it's plural majrur. If you go back to book 2, he taught us like 3 to 10 is plural majrur, right? Plural and majrur, like salatatu kutubin. And after 100,000, singular majrur. So both are majrur, except 11 to 99, as we have seen in book 2, lesson 24. Then you have misaha, linear measurement. Misaha is like distance and all that. Length. Ishtaraytu mitran hariran. I purchased a meter of what? Of silk. Al-kail, one could be volume, like liters and all that. Atini litrain, give me 2 liters of what? Haliban, of milk. Then it could be weighing, just common measurements, right? In the kilogram, and I have 1 kilo of what? Burtukhalan, of oranges. I have 1 kilo of oranges. Words resembling words of quantity also take tamyiz. The word come, how many resembles the number? Now he's telling us the word come itself could be the tamyiz itself. Like come bintan laka, how many daughters you have? So this come is also a tamyiz. Come here. It's just taking the place of bin. I mean, yeah, words resembling. Yeah, come is also a tamyiz actually. Yeah, but we say bintan is tamyiz. No? Okay, come. So come is mubtada and bintan is tamyiz of come. Yeah. Bintan is the tamyiz, come is the mubtada. Yeah, okay. ما في السماء قدر راحة سحابا. So something is not exactly measurement, but similar to it. Like there's not in the sky a piece of cloud the size of a palm of a hand, right? Palm of a hand. So قدر راحة وسحابا. So this thing gives a tamyiz. This is a tamyiz. It's not actually measurement like centimeters and meters. It's just palm of a hand. So this is like cultural measurements. And then هل عندك كيس دقيقا? Do you have a bag of wheat, sack of flour, or flour? Here the word kisun, sack, resembles words denoting measurable capacity. He's saying some words could be this thing like mithqala dharra. وَمَن يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ. Whoever does an atom's weight, very small, dharra is like smallest thing which is available, of goodness, he will see it. And so mithqala dharra, atom's weight, resembles words denoting weight. I mean, anything which denotes weight and measurement can take a tamyiz, because it's vague, right? 1 hand of what? 1 spoon, 1 tablespoon of what? The tamyiz of that may also be majrur. Now, do I have to make it mansub all the time? No. You can make it majrur because of the preposition min, or because it's being mudaf ilayhi. So you can make mudaf ilayhi also. Like, I purchased a liter of milk. So of, we can do istaraytu mitran hariran. So you can do this. This is the first way of doing. Second way, what you can do is you can add a min. Ishtaraytu mitran min haririn. Right? I purchased a meter of or from silk. You can do this. Or you can make both of them mudaf mudaf ilayh. اشتريت متر حديد. Mitra is mudaf and حديد is mudaf. I mean, it's the same thing. You can make, however, I purchased 1 meter of silk. Literally, this should be the most logical, right? This should be the most logical, right? Purchase meter of silk. You can just make mudaf mudaf and get done with it. But the Arabs did it in 3 ways. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. You can do mitran min haririn or mitran hariran. Or mitra haririn. This is the third way, right? But this rule does not apply to means of number, which has its own rule. You cannot do it for number, he says, because 11 to 99 has separate rules. Okay. Hmm. Then tamyizun nisba. Nisba is relation, right? It's used to specify and define an indeterminate idea contained in the whole sentence. Like hasuna have a talib. Generally, it comes in comparison, but could be in anything generally. Like this student became good. In what? In khuluqan, in character, manners, or is good. Tamyiz can be construed as either file or maf'ul bihi. It could either be the file or maf'ul bihi. He says, like hasuna Bilalun, Bilal became good in what? So this is khuluqan is for this, no? Bilalun. Bilal is good with regards to manners. So you can change it and make it mudaf mudaf ilayhi also. Or you can make it hasuna khuluqu Bilalin. You can make it a file. So what became good? Literally his character became good. So he made it what? As a file. Correct? And this became mudaf and mudaf ilayhi. I mean, just change around the words. I mean, in Hidayat Nahu, he teaches us how we can play around with these words. But yeah, I think, yeah. Hasuna, he teaches like you can just bring this here and all that. Like, for example, in the Quran, فَجَّرْنَا الْأَرْضَ عُيُونًا, and we exploded the earth. What? With what? Exploded with what? With springs. Fajjara is to explode. Can be construed as فَجَّرْنَا عُيُونَ الْأَرْض, and we have exploded the springs of the earth. So this became mafulun bihi. He gave an example of making it file of hasuna, and this is this thing. So it's not necessarily that should come in comparison. It could come in anything. The tamiz is always mansub but cannot be majroor. This tamiz, this one nisba should always be mansub. It cannot be majroor. In the previous one, he taught us that we can use min or make it mudaf ilayhi. Yeah, you can do that, but here you cannot. It's always mansub, he says. There are some exceptions which we can learn later. There are some exceptions. All right. One of the patterns of masdar is fu'lun. Fu'lun, example, shariba. Shurbana, just masdar patterns. Shakara, shukrun, thanking, he thanks. Then we have learned fi'alu tajub. Next point, he teaches fi'alu tajub as ma ajmala nujuma. How beautiful the stars are. There's another way of doing tajub, no? Af'il bihi. For example, ma akthara nujuma. How numerous the stars are. So you can remove the ma and make it af'il akthir bin nujumi. Same meaning, how numerous the stars are. Akthir bin nujum. Ma afqarahu, how poor is this? Or afqir bihi, how poor he is. In the Quran, both these forms are used in the Quran, like fama asbarahum ala nar, how patiently they can endure the fire. Or it could be absir bihi wa asma', how clearly he sees and clearly he hears. Both comes. This comes in Surah Al-Kahf. So this is another way. So remember, fi'lu ta'ajjub, there are two ways of doing ta'ajjub. And these are the two ways. One is ma af'alahu, ma af'ala nujuma, and the is af'il bihi, af'il bin nujum. The word bihi has been omitted now to asma to avoid repetition. Here, asma bihi is not repeated, he says. Okay. That was lesson number 30. Tamyiz lesson. Lesson number 31. Right? I hope I'm not going fast. I mean, inshallah, it's easy. Because these, it's fine, yeah, fine. Okay. Because we've just recently done these lessons, so. Okay, hal. Hal is also very common. Hal. So, it is a noun used to express the state of sahibul hal. So there's a person whose state you want to describe. That person is called sahibul hal or dhul hal. Like, for example, Ja'a Bilal. Bilal came. You can ask the question, how? How did he come? He came walking or whatever. So, rakiban, riding. So, hal answers the questions, how? How did he do that action? Here, Bilal is a sahibul hal. This is called sahibul hal or dhul hal. And this is called hal. Hal is mansub. Rakiban is the hal and ja'a is the active. So he's doing something along with something. He came riding along with the he came along with riding. I mean, you understand. He came riding. The hal is the answer to the question how. Kaifa. How did he do this action? Kaifa ja'a Bilalun? Ja'a rakiban. He came riding. Here are some examples. Ja'atni tiflatu bakiyatan. The child came to me weeping. Baka yabki bakiya. Ismul file. Warajat dahikatan. And she returned laughing. Right. So how did she return? Laughing. أحب اللحم مشويا. I love meat grilled. I like والسمك مقليا and fried fish. والبيض مسلوقا and boiled eggs. So all hal. The hal is this hal is always mansub. The sahibul hal could be so many things. Sahibul hal means the person or whoever whose hal you want to describe. Not it need not be the person. It could be like fish or whatever. But the thing or the person whom you want to describe, it could be something. Like it could be file, right? Kallamani rajul, the man spoke. How did he speak? Basiman, smiling. The man spoke to me smiling. Then you have naibul file. Yusmaul adhanu. It could be naib file because file or naib file, it's fine. I mean, the adhan is heard wadihan, clearly. Yeah, I mean, hal of this. The mafulun bihi, it could be mafulun bihi. Ishtaraitu dajajata madbuhatan. I purchased the hen or the chicken slaughtered. So I didn't purchase a live one, I slaughtered. Or it could be the mubtada. So I mean, um, there need not be a verb in it. Like here, atiflu fil ghurfati. This is rare, I guess. Atiflu fil, the child is in the room, na'iman. So you might be like, what's happening here? Why is na'iman mansub? There's no verb or whatever. There's no inna and so on. It's just the hal of this. This is the child is in the room sleeping or sleeping. It could be the khabar also, it says. Mubtada khabar like ذلك الهلال مختفيا خلف السحاب. That moon, that crescent, mukhtafiyan, hiding behind the mountains, So this is also, it could be the khabar also, it says. Okay, fine. The sahib al is mostly definite. So can the person or thing be nakira? Yeah, but there's some conditions. It may be indefinite, but then it should be qualified by an adjective. So one way of bringing a sahibul hal as nakira is you bring something adjective here. For example, ja'ani talibun mujtahidun. So you brought a na to make it takhsis. That's called takhsis. Because a nakira, if you bring a nat for that, it specifies. Like it's not any student in the world, it's a hardworking student. So you have limited the scope of it. Musta'adinan, asking permission. So first condition, if you want to use hal, so I cannot say ja'ani talibun musta'adinan. No, generally no. Because you need something like a student came asking permission. You have to use something, or you have to say the student came. It should be context should be clear, or it could be mudaf to an indefinite mudaf ilayhi. Sa'alani ibnul mudarrisin. So this is nakira, fine, but it's mudaf ilayhi. The teacher's student asked me angrily, ghadiban, so hal. But what do you have to do if one of the requirements is not met? Why? Why is this condition? Because if I say sa'ajani talibun musta'adhinan, if it is marfu, it's fine. You can understand musta'adhinan is the hal. But if it is mansub, for example, inna taliban musta'adhinan, people could think this is a na'at adjective. So what you have to do if this condition is not met, it should no adjective or no mudaf ilayhi. So what you do is you precede the hal, bring the hal first. For example, ja'ani sa'ilan talibun. A student came to me asking. So it's allowed, but bring the hal first so that people are not confused. It should be a nominal sentence, or you could use nominal sentence, use a waw al-hal, which we learned in lesson 2 in book 3. And ja'ani waladun wa huwa yabki. Use a huwa also. A boy came to him while he's asked. So we can say this, ja'ani talibun wa huwa sa'ilun. Or wa huwa yas'aluni. Right? Because with vowel had we have to use a verb. So a boy came to me crying. In the Quran, Allah says, أَوْ كَالَّذِي مَرَّ عَلَىٰ قَرْيَةٍ وَهِيَ خَاوِيَةٌ عَلَىٰ عُرُوشِهَا, which or like one who passed by a township, by a village, وَهِيَ خَاوِيَةٌ, while it was in utter خَاوِيَةٌ عَلَىٰ عُرُوشِهَا. Although arsh is the roof, overturned on its roof, that is destroyed, utter ruins. So this is the hal, no? This statement. Sometimes the sahib al-hal may be indefinite without meeting, but even if you don't follow this, it could be possible. Like there's an exception in the hadith, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, qa'idan wa salla wara'ahu rijalun qiyaman. See, this is nakira. And you've used yaqin, so this is also fine. Ultimately, it says that, I mean, all these rules, what you've said, those can be broken also, like here. Because the context is clear and nobody will, get a doubt and so on. The Prophet prayed sitting, and some men prayed standing behind him. All right. Are there different types of hal? Yes, there are kinds of hal. The hal is either a word or a sentence, like using vowel hal, no? That's what he'll explain. Hal al-mufrad is called singular word. We've already seen examples for this. Here's another. دخل المدرس الفصل حاملا كتبا كثيرة. The teacher entered a class carrying a lot of books. So why is kutuban mansub? Because this is the file, mafulun bihi of the ismul file. Hamil is ismul file, no? And we learned ismul file can also take mafulun bihi. So this is like mafulun bihi for this. Can take file. Ismul file can have a file also in the mafulun bihi. So a little confusing it might be, but ismul file, ismul maful can take files and mafuls and all that. Or it could be a whole sentence. Or the sentence could be either nominal. So you want to describe while he was doing this something state, what state he was in, doing this. Jalastu astami'u ila tilawati al-Quran. So verbal sentence, there's no vowel hal. Mudar. I sat listening this thing. Listening the Quran recitation. So jalastu astami'u ila tilawati al-Quran min al-ida'ati. Fine, there's no vowel hal. But if you use madi, he says you have to use waqad. Qad is also required. التحقت بالجامعة وقد تخرج أخي. I joined the university after my brother had graduated. So you have to use khad with madi. Just some conditions he notes them, right? Then nominal you have to use a wow generally. I memorized the Quran, حفظت القرآن وأنا صغير, while I was small. Or جاء الجريح دمه يتدفق. There's no vowel hal here, see? So yeah, I think it's not a compulsory thing. Yeah. If it's understood, fine. The wounded came, his blood was flowing, gushing out. يتدفق. Okay. The hal al-jumla should contain a rabit containing it to the main sentence. There should be some connector, he says, all these things, like you have to have a wow, or do a pronoun or a wow. Jaatil akhwatu yadhakna. This pronoun goes back to the condition. This is just connectors. Yadhakna. You cannot use tadhaku or singular because this is plural, so you have to use this also as plural. So that is connecting to the sahib al-rabit. This is called connector. Dakhaltu makkata wash-shamsu taghrub. Here the wow is the connector. Here the hal has no pronoun connecting to the sahib. The only connecting verb is wow. Wow. Raja'tu labu wa hum mutabun. Here the pronoun hum and the wow connect to the sahib. So whatever it is, there should be a connector. But sometimes the connector is not there, so people say, I mean, the connector is assumed. There should be something which tells us whose state are we talking about. Then agreement of hal with sahibul hal. Should it agree? Should singular, singular, plural, plural? But no, he says only, I mean, yeah, but only number and gender. No need this thing. Because number, obviously, for plurals, you use plural hals, and gender, masculine, masculine, feminine, feminine. Ja'at talibu, dahikan, fine. Ja'at talibani, dahikaini. See, dual, dual. Ja'at tullabu, dahikina, right? Plural, plural. And then feminine, ja'at talibatu, dahikatan. Obviously, it cannot match in the case, right? I mean, this is marfu, this is mansub. جاءت الطالباتان ضاحكتين جاءت الطالبات ضاحكات. Right, so I mean, everything should match. Not everything. I mean, number and gender should match. The female students came laughing. Okay, that's all about hal. So hal has so many things, but generally speaking, it's very easy to identify. Like if you ask the question, how? It's easy. It's always mansub, so no issues at all, inshallah. The problem will come when a sentence is coming as a hal. That time it's a little tricky to identify. Unless you know the context and so on. Yeah, you can see the vowel hal. If there's no vowel hal, then it's a problem. Like, what's the hal here? One of the patterns of masdar is fa'ilun. Fa'il, example, la'iba, la'ibun, fine. There are two more patterns of the broken plural, fi'alun. Some broken plurals are given, na'imun, na'imatun, niyamun. So this is a plural. So Naim is the sleeper guy, and this is the one who sleeps, feminine. Niyam is the plural. Qaim, Qaimatun, Qiyam. Qiyam is the sleeping men, all of them. Fu'ul is also present. Qa'id, Qa'idatun, Qu'ud, sitting. The people sitting. Jalisun, Jalisatun, Julus. This is what? Broken plurals. Remember, these words sometimes can also be used as masters. So you have to look at the context, right? Like julus is also the act of sitting. And also julus is like people sitting. Like annasu julus. Instead of using jalisun, julus. Alladhina yadhkuruna Allah qiyaman. So this is like the men, those remember Allah standing. That is, those men are standing. Like qa'imuna. Wa qu'udan. Like qa'iduna. Wa ala junubihim. And on the reclining, on the sides. خرج رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فإذا نسوة جلوس. So women were sitting, julus. So this is like sitting women. All right. Just some broken plurals, huh? Not masters. Lesson number 32. I think this will do. 32, 33, 34. This is a long lesson. Istithna lesson, and then we have Noon Thaqila. This is also a long lesson. Not that long, but yeah, 34 is like dip towards. I think we should do this next class. What do you say? Or should we continue? One more week for the next 3 lessons. As you say. Half an hour is done. That's it, no? Yeah, okay, we'll do this next class. I mean, it's a long lesson all about istithna, munqati, muttasil. I mean, why should we? Let's start fresh, inshallah, all this. So that we can understand better, I guess. I mean, there's no hurry anyways, inshallah. Okay, barakallahu feekum. Jazakallahu khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka. We hope, inshallah, to finish in our next class, I believe. 32, 30, 34. And yeah, inshallah, I hope so. Yeah, whatever happens, we'll finish it next class. Anyways, inshallah, we'll be done with all the series of book 3, and we'll be done with this. Inshallah, ta'ala, we start a new book, inshallah, next week. I mean, after this next week, inshallah. So instead of 4, we are finishing in 3, I guess, inshallah. Let's see how much tired we are next class. Barakallahu feekum, jazakallahu, and subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum.